Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Analyzing the Markets with Flores. Today, I wanted to do some analysis for a couple pairs and currencies, also gold and US 30. I know they're becoming more and more popular for traders. I mean, it's been for a while already, but um, I'm going to start back testing, doing analysis on them, and we can start reviewing. I had a couple calls from subscribers just, asking for help, signals and stuff. Um, I don't. It's well. I was gonna say I don't believe in signals. I mean, I do believe, but in a way they're no good for a trader. In a way that number one, you cannot be depending on others traders' signals. Normally, it doesn't work too good. Okay, because there's a lot of time differences, especially if you're doing scalping signals. Sometimes you're not going to catch it. There's differences even in the broker spreads, timings, and also, so that just right there makes it a little bit difficult to get signals. It doesn't matter how profitable the agency or company sending signal it is. I mean, they're normally going to be what at the best 70%. Plus, consider the timing, the spreads, difference in time, different brokers, all that changes a little bit. And then if you don't catch a signal on time, right away, that, takes away from being profitable. So I don't believe in signals. I try many of them, to be honest. I'm not saying they don't work. I mean, they work for the person that is doing the signals because they're getting right away. Unless you're in front of a computer all the time or in your phone all the time and you have that time to do that, maybe you'll catch them all the time. But it's very hard. It's very hard to follow signals. So I learned that a few years ago already, and I just got into a journey of, studying more, getting more knowledge, invest in courses. Unfortunately, a lot of the courses you have to pay for it, and to learn. It's an investment. That's all it is. But the way I see is, the investment that you do. I mean, one day with the hope and that you're going to get it back. Okay. So if you stick to it pretty much, and it is possible. I see it. I thought it was impossible to be honest, 2, 3 years ago. I almost gave up many times, but I already spent a long time. So might as well trying to get my money back. That is called revenge trading, but you don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do some analysis. And if you want to, these are not trade alerts. It's just setups that I'm trying to look, for the week. And that doesn't mean the setups are showing up right now, but I can give you ideas, if this happened, you can do that or you can do that. So I'm a big price action person. And also, I also use simplicity. I know you know that. Give me 1 second here. For my analysis, I use Trading View. Broker is very easy to use. It has a lot more features than MetaTrader, so that makes it definitely easy to use. Trying to put simplicity here in my other screen. 1 second, please. Okay, I have it right here. Also, another thing, I am trying in the next week also to focus in currency pairs. I'm only gonna focus on trying. Okay, if I see setups in other pairs that are really good setups, I might trade them too. But I want to really focus in this two and give it a try for the next 2 or 3 weeks and see how that goes. And also, I got asked to if I can analyze gold and USD30. So I'm gonna do it real quick, okay? So you always want to start and try to see the big picture of what it is. You can even go to the monthly. You can see the whole story pretty much behind it. That's US30 history. Okay, it's been in an uptrend for at least what MetaTrader shows is for years, right? Let me see. Is that total? Is that? Let me see. 1 second. All 21. I think it shows all the way from 2004. Yeah, there it is, the year right there, 2004. And then that's what it's showing. I'm pretty sure it started before, not sure. But we have an uptrend, and then you see a correction right here on 2020. Wow, that was a big uptrend. There was a big correction right here in 2020, and then it picked up from there. If you look left, it never fails. Look left. Where did it punch up? And this used to be a resistance, a crossover, and it turned into support and went up. Okay, that is the kind of trader that I am. Price action, you'll see that all the time, in all the time frames also. So it went up. Another tip that I'm going to give you, I use the 50 EMA average. And simple as that, just look at the daily and see where the 50 is. If price is above the 50 in the daily, that's an uptrend in the daily, okay? Uptrend in the daily. You can see that it's going up, 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 up. Now, I'm going to go to the 4-hour now. The price is about 50. It's definitely an uptrend. We knew that. We were looking at that. But look at what happened, okay? The price has an impulse, and then it did a correction. That is the flat pattern right there. 1, 2, 3. And then it broke the previous highs. I marked myself right there a possible future support, and the price came in that area. Remember that lines are not lines, they're areas. And that was a support again. And then it broke that high, that turned into support again, and I follow the price like that, okay? So we're going up in the 4-hour. Now let's look at the 1-hour. If you notice, I'm going from top down analysis. Let me get rid of this line so we don't get confused. Let me get rid of this line. Oh, 1 second. Boom, right there. And let's go to the 1-hour. So during the past week, November, since November 1, I think that was Sunday. I'm not sure. Anyways, the price did a impulse, then it did a correction. It broke the top to the left with another impulse, did a correction in that area, and then it broke again that top. Okay, so now I can put another support line right there, and it went up in an impulse, and right now it's in a 1-hour correction. Okay, so that's where we are right now. So what did I do here? Normally what I do is I'm gonna wait. I am gonna wait to see if USD30 is gonna start breaking below this older resistance support line or zone, okay, to see if it's going to do a correction. And if the price starts doing a trend, even in the 1-hour or the 4-hour, I'm going to start following by support and resistance. Okay, so what you can do, you can put a line on the very top of this, and I'm just going to give you a possible setup. Okay, let's look at this in the 15 minutes. For entries, I go all the way down to the 15 minutes. So these are the possible setups. I mean, the price can consolidate here, but eventually, obviously, the price needs to go down or up, right? Everybody knows that. But if you follow price action, all you need to do is wait for the price to break, and then wait for a clear retest, and then you can enter for a trade. Okay, but don't enter a trade until it breaks up. And if it doesn't come and retest, it's a better idea not to go into a trade. It's just gonna go. Eventually, it's gonna have to come and retest either another support resistance lines in the future. So my advice to you again is wait for the retest and go into a trade. If this market decides to break this zone right there to the bottom, clearly breaks. I'm not talking, and you gotta be smart about this and wait for the clear break. And for this, obviously, you require some sort of experience to recognize the price action. I will go even there or possibly to the next zone. Okay. Normally, when I enter a trade like this, I enter in the 15. I look for the price action in the 15, especially for the retest. Okay, sometimes it's hard to recognize this ones. I know you need special training for this. Okay, but get experience. I mean, because 60, 70% of the time, you are going to be correct. If it crosses and retests, again, it'll go down. If it crosses to the top and retest, it's going to go up. Okay, this is a very effective and very easy strategy to do, especially if you're following a trend. Okay, always also always mark a trend line, because that trend line can tell you a lot. Okay, just mark it like that, like that. Let me tell you why, because sometimes the trend line is going to give you double confirmation. Let me get rid of this. So I want to show you something. Sometimes, let's pretend that the price comes here, right? Comes down, and then it breaks, through the trend line, and it breaks through the resistance support line right there, and then the price comes and does a retest right there. That's double confirmation right there, because you have a resistance, support, resistance here, support there, line, plus you have the trend line also right there. So it's going to break to a double wall right there on that retest. Okay, so it's going to come down after that. Those are 70 to 80% possibilities all the time. And play with trend lines like that. Try not to have a lot of lines, but that is very, very possible. I really like this kind of trades, are very, very effective. Okay, so that's possible setups for this. I'm gonna move this a little more this way. Okay, that is one. Let's look for the gold. Let's look at the daily so we can see the whole history. Well, not the whole history, but a lot of history of what's going on right now with the gold. Okay, the gold. For a few years has been coming, from this giant uptrend. It went all the way up to $2,073, something like that, per ounce, and then start dropping right here. Nobody knows, is this move is a giant correction or is a giant reversal, pretty much. But we're going with the price action. We're going with the market, pretty much. So this is coming down, and today we are right here, right? So I'm going to go that low to the 4 hours. But right now we know that at least in the daily, that we have a trend line coming down. Okay. We're going to put it right there. For an example, if the market goes up and touches that trend line and it touches that resistance area, that could be a good possible trade, but you got to go down to maybe the 1 hour Let's see. Let's look at it in the 1 hour. That's the top trend line. It's coming from the top. And then the market started doing this move right here. And it's compressing. If you can see the price action right there, right? So at this point, I have this zone right there. And also to the bottom, if I look to the bottom, we have this important zone, or all the way in the bottom of that zone right there. Get rid of this square. I was testing something else with that, so we'll get confused. I forgot to look at the 50 to look for a trend. Okay. Right now, the 50, obviously the market went up, the 50 went below the 50. So right now it's pretty much in a big consolidation right there, daily. It doesn't mean you can't trade it, but you're gonna have to trade it like in the 4 hour or 1 hour smaller swings. Okay, so 1 hour. So I'm gonna get rid of the 50 so I can clean the chart a little better. And I like to go to the 4 hour to look for a strong support in the bottom. Okay, if the gold starts dropping for the future, you can have strong support right there. If you look left, look, that's support, support, clear support, clear support. A lot of touches. So I'm going to put a support zone right there for the future. And that's where possibly the gold can, rebound, even if it's for a correction and then to keep going down, but that's where it is. And then the next big area is bottom here, okay? Well, market, the majority of the time is always going to respect those supports. So we got 4 right now as we speak. 1, 2, 3, 4. So keep an eye on those areas right there, okay? Because the market, it can, again, if the market breaks up, retest and go for the next zone. Simple as that. Market drops, okay? In this case, you have a zone right there. So the market drops directly from there. You can go to this zone, or you can go all the way to the bottom of this zone right there. Okay, those are the two major possibilities. A lot of things can happen, right? But the majority of the times, this is what you should be inspecting from the market. That's the goal right there. And let's look at Euro JPY. What's your waiting for this week? Okay, I'm gonna go faster now. Euro JPY in the 4 hour areas, or the market as we speak. Let's look as we speak in the daily. We're going up 50, which is a blue line that's above, and it's doing a large correction or a possible reversal. We don't know until it starts dropping longer. Okay, so in the 4 hour, let me get rid of the 50 now so it looks cleaner. In the 4 hour, we have this large move. This is a possible support line. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour. So in the 1 hour, that is my trend line right there from this swing. Is that mark, if that market breaks that, okay, it clearly breaks it, I'm going to go in for a trade. Put your stop loss below the support. Because if this breaks below, I mean, it's not going to go up, it's going to go down. So you keep the stop loss not too tight, but give it a little breathing room. But you don't want to have large stop loss like that because there's no need. Price action, that's the advantage. You can use very small stop losses and go for large risk rewards. 2 to 1, 3 to 1, whatever you want. Meaning 3 times the space for one space of risk, pretty much. What I mean by that, I'm going to show you. I'm looking for a trade that looks kind of like this. just like that. And this move right here, in that Euro JPY, is 119 pips. Okay, and pretty much I'm going almost 2.5 risk reward. Okay, 2.5 to 1. Well, that's a good spacing all the time. I always try to go for at least 1.5 to 2 to 3 if possible. The risk reward. Now, if this is if we catch this reversal going up, this has like immense potential because this move, if it's a right move that is going to go up, it can break that top right there, and let's say we catch it. If you only go there, that's more than 200 pips. The top right there is 250 pips, no problem. But if you're scalping, you just want to go for 1 hour trades. So you go from zone to zone right there. That's all you do. Okay, and GPJPY, what are we waiting for this week? So I already explained, it's a very similar trade on this one. I will definitely put a trend line right there, just on the last swing, because I'm in a support area right there. But this can be broken to the bottom, okay? If this gets broken to the bottom, let me go to the 15, and I'll show you what we do. You know what we do, right? If it breaks to the bottom, wait for a retest. Don't just go in, because it can be a fake. That's why we do retests. If it breaks zones, we do retests, okay? Because it can be a fake, and you enter the break, and then it's going to go the way it was supposed to go. All right, so just use a simple trend line. Look for the very top of this move right here. Always look for the last lower high, and that's where your trend line goes. Okay. As you can see, that already crossed that trend line to the top. Okay. If I see my MACD here crossing green, I'm probably going to enter that trade. We'll see how it goes on tomorrow afternoon. And those are my planned trades. If they work, they work. If not, I'm telling you 60% of the time, if you do it correctly like this, it's going to work. Follow the signals right there. Now, you take your own decisions. These are just possible setups, okay? Don't hold me responsible. I'm just doing this for education and trying to help people that are still struggling with trading. So there he goes. Now, why they didn't talk about simplicity? Because I do use simplicity. Let me show you. There's simplicity. Let me look for Euro JPY. Okay, on Euro JPY, I'm in the 1 hour right there. So in the 30 minutes. Now, having a previous analysis, like what I did with Euro JPY, is going to help me with simplicity. Because all I have to do now is wait for triple arrows in my zone. Now, you might tell me, triple arrow is going to show up because it shows up every time that trend is broken. It's going to show, okay? It's going to show every time the 50 is crossed. It shows up. Look, triple arrow crosses the 50, price action crosses the 50, triple arrow shows up. Action price crosses the 50, triple arrow shows up. It doesn't matter where it is. And that's the only time you need to, it's a great system and everything, but you need to understand price action. Because if you're going in the consolidation period like that, look at all this signals. Boom, 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 boom. No, what you have to do is, I'm going to mark my zones. And another thing that simplicity does, it gives you good zones also. It gives you good zones, okay? But this is a computer. This is a algorithm. So you can confirm that those zones with your analysis also. Confirm your analysis Don't trust 100% your algorithm. Make sure you want to see it with your own eyes to the left. Look at to the left right there. Why do I have those zones there? It's because there's touches in the previously. You can see that right there. Touch, touch, touch. Look at to the left. Touch, touch. In that zone right there. So strong zone. Is this zone strong? Can it rebound up? Well, let's look to the left. That was a serve as support right there previously. Serve as resistance a couple times previously. If I keep going, it was a resistance previously. And I can assure you I can find more uh, touches. So then I go to simplicity, and I know I'm in a strong zone right there because I already saw it in my own analysis. So all I do, I wait for the triple arrows, and you know, and you might ask, so why do you need triple arrows for then? Well, triple arrows, it helps a lot of people that don't know how to do analysis. It can give you very good, hint of the analysis, but it's always better for you to learn it. How do you do it yourself? Because then you can kind of atomize the system. Okay, so if you're interested in getting the simplicity, I can leave a link. I cannot give it away. It's not. I don't own this system. It's Uncle P and the creator and Super Easy company. That's why I feel bad because I know sometimes people ask me for it, but I cannot do that. All I can do is do my videos and try to help you understand. If you ask me, do I totally need simplicity to be successful? Absolutely not, and everybody knows that. But it's a great help. It's a great it's great to be in a community also of traders because this you do one payment and you're there for life. You ask questions to the owner every single Tuesday and Wednesday. He does classes on live all the time. It's a one-time payment. Okay, so just want to show you guys that. Thank you very much for being here, and check JBP/JPY also for this week, and USD 30. Those three pairs right there. Euro JPY, GP JPY, gold, and USD 30. Okay, thank you very much for being here. God bless you all. See you guys next week.